guys look beautiful tonight. Can you tell us about your project?
Yeah, well, Karma Calling is a movie about love and family in the age of outsourcing. And Samrat here plays Rob Roy, the charismatic master of accents working at a call center in Mumbai. And Kavi plays Radha, a village girl from India who's arranged to be married to a 99-cent store mogul from New Jersey. It's a comedy. If you couldn't already tell, it's a comedy.
Comedy about a dysfunctional family.
And how did the project get started?
Basically, it started out from a short film that I made a couple of years ago when I was at film school at NYU, and that short was called Mousy, or How an Old Lady Finds Her Way Back to India, which is about a dysfunctional Indian family living in New Jersey, and then it eventually grew into a feature film, and we got the opportunity to cast these lovely actors and get it shot and made, and this is our Los Angeles premiere.
Well, how did you get the project to come together?
We started out, we won a $100,000 production grant, the Richard Vague Award for first-time filmmakers, and the script won that award, so that kind of got us started and got us rolling and us noticed in terms of the work on the script, and from there we ended up being lucky enough to meet with some great executive producers and home grow the project, and we're all basically like family and friends here and pulled together and made it happen.
Okay, and how did you meet these actors? Did they audition for your film?
Kavi, actually, I saw Kavi in a staged reading in New York City almost 9 years ago, and I just remembered her. I remembered the interpretation of the character she did, and she just stuck in my mind. So I actually called her to find out whether she would be interested in reading for the part of Radha, and that was a happy accident that she happened to have already moved from New York to LA and was ready to go and shoot her first feature here. And Samrat auditioned for us in New York.
About 50 times. And I stayed up all night and begged, knocked on the door, and I said, please, please, please. And it was very fortunate.
As a first-time filmmaker, I was very nervous about the lead character and who I'd play. So it was more my unsure steps than our actor here. So.
Well, how did you hear about the film then?
I heard about it from a friend. I was living in New York at the time, and I heard about it through a friend of mine who was also going in for it, and it just sounded like for a different role, so it's all good. And it just seems like it's a fantastic film because it's also ties in call centers, and we all know that when we sometimes pick up credit card bills and try to yell at them, they might be in India or whatever. So it ties in sort of like a current day age and some reality in this very quirky comedy. So it was something I wanted to be a part of, and now I am.
Oh, that's great. Well, how did you get started in theater or film?
I've been doing theater since I was 5 or 6 years old, but I studied at NYU, and I've been working professionally for about 13 years, mostly now in film and television. But this is my actual feature film debut, so I'm very, very excited.
Well, I love your outfit.
Thank you so much.
Beautiful. Is it a designer? Or?
I designed it myself.
Okay. Oh, how did you get it?
Yeah, it's a
Okay, it's beautiful. How did you get it made then?
I had it made in India, which is why I could afford to design it myself.
I know. I mean, it's so different. Okay. And how did you get your start in acting?
Well, I designed this. I started in tailoring. No, I started.
I can see why you're the lead.
I started doing acting in sort of like Indian community stuff in Boston, where I grew up. And then one thing led to another. Ended up going to grad school for it, and then moved to New York, started doing some TV and film, and here I am.
What grad school did you go to?
I went to the ART Harvard and then the Moscow Arts Theater School. So it was pretty intense, 2 years. But I don't usually drop the H-bomb unless someone asks, so.
Well, then you really were picky about your actors. I mean, they're all
Yale grad, so.
Oh, she's a Yale grad.
I mean, NYU is a fantastic school, especially for film.
We're Indians. It's an Asian American festival. What can we say?
Well, you're
Overachieving academics.
That's right. We have a lot in common. This is Aisian Pacific, so. Okay. So, how many festivals have you entered your film in?
We just world premiered last month in San Francisco International Asian Asian American Film Festival. And then we were in Chicago a couple of weeks ago at the Disorient Film Festival in Eugene, Oregon last weekend. And this is our Los Angeles debut. So, and we hope to be on the East Coast later this summer. So
it's amazing that we're premiering at the DGA and at this festival. It really is. It's one of the
kind of a dream come true to be having your feature debut for Los Angeles in the Directors Guild. I mean, it's an amazing theater, and it's an honor to be a part of this.
And I know that you've got a wonderful film that you're premiering here, but do you have any projects that you're working on currently for the future?
Yeah, I'm actually working on a film right now. It's basically about the Bollywood underworld in the 1970s, and it's an action comedy, and it's sort of Get Shorty Goes to India is the...
Well, that's wonderful. Well, actually, since the Indian culture is a little bit like the Asian culture, I mean, I know you're all very educated, but did you run into any roadblocks from your parents?
Yeah.
I did pre-med in college. My dad's a doctor. And, I said, I could play one on TV, but that's not what I really want to do with my life. But, it was a tough thing. But, I don't blame them. I understand where they're coming from. I mean, they're immigrants that came here, and it's a totally unknown thing. At this point, they've come a long way, and they're very supportive. But it was definitely...
Well, and you're in a great film, too, so...
Yeah, so it's, I think... Like anything else, you just have to you have to prove yourself and continue on proving. But I got to say, this is what the arts for us is nothing compared to what they've done, which is cross the ocean. Our parents crossed the ocean to a country where they never spoke the language. So I admire that bravery, and I say if you guys can do that, then maybe I can do this.
Well, when did you decide you wanted to be an actor then, since you were pre-med and your dad's a doctor?
I think way before that, I was just hiding.
Biding your time.
And, until I could...
I know my father said after 4 years of film school, you could have become a doctor by now. So I think we all feel that.
What about your parents?
I actually didn't have that. My parents, I think my mom thought maybe I would go into journalism at least. They knew my dad was a chemist. They knew I wasn't going to go into science or anything like that. And so I really had their support. So as soon as I got into NYU, they were just interested that I went to the best school, and so I'm very blessed.
Oh, that's wonderful. It's inspiring to talk to you. And good luck with your film.
Thanks so much.
Good meeting you.
Oh, it's great meeting you. My sister went to Harvard Law School.
Oh, yeah?
So, yeah.
Hi.